Hey everybody, what is happening? Dela, I'm back with some more Madden 15 Ultimate Team content. Today I'm bringing the season of the 99 Barry. It's kind of a player review, kind of like the season in review, so I can go over more players or whatnot. Since I just did the 98 Barry, and this one's not going to be a whole lot different. It's basically he just kind of fights more. He's got more wiggle. He can break a little bit more. That's the big difference. The speed, I wish it was better still, but then it would be pretty damn OP of a card, though. So we're going to get into the first game here, though. And, typical, driving down on me the first time. You basically just see if we can get the turnover, keep it going from how it was last season. And Taylor Mays just okay, we know the guy's got stone hands, but as I've seen before this season, he also makes plays, so he's kind of like a 50-50 sort of guy, which is about, I guess, kind of what his rating sort of is anyway, right? And Barry, like I say right there, just fighting. He gets a lot of yards he shouldn't get. That's what's kind of nice about the card. I really feel like I can still break more home runs, more plays with Jamal. I really hope I get another, a new card of him would be great. I hope he's the halfback. I know he's not going to be, but that would be great for me and not necessarily everybody else. Everybody wants that Le'Veon card, but we'll see what they do with that. Jerry Rice there coming up, making plays. I do change a handful of guys throughout the year. And Jerry's one of them. I ended up selling him off. I really wasn't getting the value with him and Fitz out there that I wanted, but that price of both of them just wasn't worth it to me. So I wanted to get rid of Jerry before he started taking a big hit. Because I've a lot of these cards in here, unfortunately, when you go for the bigger end guys, the timing is everything on that, and if you don't want to wait, like I didn't wait on this Barry, just 2 weeks later it's already dropped like 200K. So I mean, if I sell the Barry, I'm taking a nice loss off of that one. But that's just, that's just the name of the game. But so I did get rid of Jerry in time, though. Moral of that story. Here we go, Gronkowski. There is a little tight end play later in the video. I do change something up there just to try things out. Here we go, Barry again. I never really have too many huge running games because at this point of the year, I've done so many running back reviews. I'm trying to get some offensive, sets and plays and stuff set up. I haven't really focused on that enough, and right there, I was just way too late. I was open with Fitz early, and I was just way too late. That's on me. That wasn't on Fitz. That's sometimes you see the guys and they're open, and at that point it's too late because they're already open. But I tried to force it. And a couple different formations that'll send me some good seams. And here we go at the end of the half. And how does Larry get behind those guys? My goodness. So, he helps me out there. We did a nice little touch to kind of pad it there going into halftime. Now we get the third quarter. And I really hadn't seen a lot of that from Larry as far as jump ball stuff, but he seems to get behind guys even though his speed wouldn't indicate it, So a lot of times I'm guessing, route running and stuff really is playing a lot, and, getting off the press and stuff like that also, obviously. That's going to help. And there's Smith, and that card is just great, guys. I have so much fun with him. And you see that he should run out of bounds. Nice spinning up the field. He's my favorite receiver still. Larry's starting to, he's starting to catch on. I had also debated selling him at some point. When I had him out there with Rice, I feel like I didn't really have the deep threat. And Larry it's just he's not the typical, for me, the way I play. I can't get those typical, bombs up, jump ball plays. Him, it's got to be based on the route still. And Atwater, I mean, you see this all season with him, just camp in the middle spot, and he just comes out and plucks it out of the air. He's got a handful of those this season. Always happy with him and his performance, and I know that Harrison Smith is going to be great. I've seen that too, but I just don't really have a reason to get rid of Atwater. He continues to make plays. Why mess with it? I can upgrade other spots first. And Smith again, I mean, this guy is like shot out of a cannon on a lot of drags, and slants. He's just and then after the catch too, it's just great. He's not the easiest guy to bring down. So DeMarco in there, he does that formation, that carry for me a lot. Sometimes the dive and sometimes the trap, and works well. And Mac blowing him up off the edge, and I think a Watt comes by and picks that up. So great way in this game, to show up there. And Barry coming, look at it. See what I mean? He fights really hard. There's nobody else who really works like that I've seen that I've used this game, and it's noticeable between this and the last card. Even it's pretty solid. Give a lot of credit to that. Even though again my focus wasn't totally on the run this season, even though like I say this is the Barry one. And there again, Atwater, like I say, you know, he's just you throw anything over that deep middle in that formation and that coverage, and he's got you almost every time. And there, right there, though, I give it right back to him. I switched to Larry. Sometimes you don't get the animation. You get that one weird one where they just throw their arm up and whatnot, and that's what got me there. Well, that's gonna happen. I think I only threw like 2 interceptions I remember this season. I mean, so that's I think I could live with that if that's all I'm going to do in the regular season. It's not too bad. And Darnell Dockett, you see him time again in this video coming in and just sacking that quarterback, taking them down. The Bruce Smith is tempting, but looking at my other 2 spots, I'm sure I can upgrade those before Darnold will be one of the last ones, especially being the Cardinal, a longtime favorite. I don't know if he's going to stick with us or go with the Niners, what he's doing right now, but I'll find about that later. And the old Freddie B screen, we need that 3rd and 8, and Steve Smith coming up clutch. He runs that better than anybody. Like I say, I don't run that play nearly as much as I used to, just because you're just continually trying to find different things, but it's good to see that one come up just because he's so elusive. I also think like an Antonio Brown would be really good in that position also. But Steve can block, and he's just a mean SOB. So to me, he's just a great receiver right now in the game. And there we go again. Like I say, see the separation he's got. I mean, when you're running any of these drags, slants, those sort of things in there like that, and look at Barry. This is probably one of my favorite runs of this, in this short, in this regular season here. Even though it didn't go for a touchdown, it's just the way you break and keep on fighting and going and busting loose. I mean, there's a lot of potential for the card. I feel like I really didn't crack, basically into it nearly enough this season, but. I'll keep on that. Again, it's just, it seems like you excel at one thing, and normally they both don't work. Either I'm passing really good and my run game's not just average, or I'm running really good and I can't pass. So another quit there. That's pretty much the theme of the season. It just depends on at what point of the game it's going to happen. And there we go, starting off good. And he's got the Barry also. So, his Barry actually looked pretty good, pretty dang good to start off there. This guy gets pretty run heavy. I noticed, I think he had like an 8 run to 3 pass on this drive alone, I believe it was. So, and it's good. It's good. He went down and he worked. Now, really wasn't ready for it. Never quite adjusted to the defense to where I needed to be at times on that one. But it took him till the end of the second quarter. Basically, I get 2 minutes left though, so he got down there on a lot of short stuff, but he basically took the whole first half. So I've got 2 minutes to go down and score basically. And we're going to have to – these seams work pretty good. Again, it's a quick read on the defenses you got to make. There's like 3 options on the play. I'll put it in my ebook coming out here soon. I'll just do some free offensive stuff about how I set my plays and what I look, my reads and whatnot. I know some people show some interest in it. It's just the Rams book, but I'm sure it'd be nice to see. I know it's later in the game, but you might be looking to change some things up. So I'm going to put some work in after finishing this one up here. I'm going to put some work in on that and try and get some good formation set up and show you guys at least what I'm running, and in case you have interest in that. And there we go, Barry's, and doing pretty well on that. Attacking the right side, I feel like it was pretty weak out there. See, look at that, man. You tried to do that, super tackle on there and actually got me extra yardage. And again, we hit a Freddie B on this game. A nice one again. I actually run into Barry. It's so weird how I spin so often and hit my own players. It's the only downside of it. And look at Larry. See, he snags that ball there. It's one of those. I'd say that this one thing that he does is very noticeable, and he does it a lot. Balls that look like they should be picked, guys coming across, he just snags them out of the air. Like anything that goes near him, he just grabs it from everybody. And there we go with Mays. I believe that was Mays coming up, and somebody else hit it with him. But so there he's getting some redemption there, causing a fumble basically there. So Stone Hands causes fumbles, makes the occasional pick. I'm still kind of torn between what to do with him or Adrian Wilson. I did find like a 275K Adrian Wilson. I kind of wish I would have got down to this point, but I'm kind of torn with what to do on that Mays card because that size, the jumping, and the speed especially is just it's killer as a user. I use that spot a lot, but when he's alone, I know Wilson would be making more plays. Period. You know, he would. So it's just if I want to drop back a little bit of speed, and then there's also the mindset of if I do that, why not just go back for the cam? But I'm debating if it's worth it for me to spend my money on the guy I'm going to use her like that. I'm dropping a little bit of the speed, but I'll have that 102 hit power I'll be running around with. So. What do you guys? I'll see what you guys think about that. If you think I should just go for the cam there, or maybe just take Wilson, or stay with Taylor Mays. And there you go. Harrison dropping, more guys dropping picks. I mean, it's just part of the game. You know, that's the thing is when I see Mays, I'm going back to him dropping that. You know, it's like, well, what are the percentage of the other guys anyway doing the same thing? You know, a lot of these guys. You see Kuechly dropping some wide open ones here in this also, and he's got good catching. So it's just going to be part of the game. So I think I can live with that on that aspect of it, especially when I can cover a lot of ground with the guy. There we go. We cause a fumble, but it goes out of bounds. What do we got? The Saint in this game. All right. So we're just rolling through the big sack there. We're going to go for it now, 3rd and 8, and Harrison steps up, and to see he picks it now this time. So again, and he's got pretty good stats in the matter. So then we're going to get Barry Sanders. Now we've got a big one. We got open lane there. Takes a spin, and look at that. See, he bumps into Larry. That's just how the game is. Always seems to be something like that happens there. And we're going to go, and I decide to go over the top. See if I can get Steve Smith. Boom. Oh, man. Tell you what, I mean, when you get that play set up, and he gets that one-on-one, even that deep coverage, dude, he runs by him, man. You get this play set up properly. Steve is a handful. He's just a handful, man. Again, that's why I go back to saying he's my favorite, receiving weapon right now. And Atwater again, just definitely the defensive, MVP, I believe, this season, because just all these plays he stepped in on and making. And we got Mike Evans now, so that, as I went into the Jerry Rice being sold earlier, that is who I replaced him with, and honestly couldn't be happier. And there's a great run by Barry. That shows the elusiveness, and the moving very well with him on that play. I was happy with that. And here we go in this one. Look at this. This guy's now his second pass of the game, 2 picks, and Taylor Mays gets that one jumping the route. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, and the guy makes good plays. So that's why I was like torn for his price. I think I almost want to keep him and just look at some other parts of my lines right now. Maybe the 99 Watt perhaps, or maybe even that Mean Joe Green ultimate DT perhaps. I did end up picking up Mike Ditka here, as you'll end up finding out. I've got the ham out there. I did get rid of my right outside linebacker, the Matt card. Was that a Team of the Week one? And I've got the ultimate Jack Ham. I pieced it together for like 500, a little over 500K, just buying the pieces when I got home from vacation. I had seen them up there. I was like, why not do that? I've been wanting that position. I've been telling you guys recently, and right off the bat, I'll say just well worth it. Well worth it. Playing great. He's doing his job. And what do we got here? And there's Ditka dropping. I tell you what, this game did not please me, his performance at all. He definitely had many chances, and that Hunter catching traffic is a lie. I'm going to just tell you. I mean, this guy dropped a lot of balls that Gronkowski has made the catch like on a very, very high rate with. So he makes a few plays. He's not bad, but after I ended up going back and going back to Gronkowski, actually, just even the 96 for now, again, because I'm trying to figure out the best places to put what money I got, at, and make those guys count. Because at this point, I want to, if there's positions out there that you can say, hey, I'm going to put a guy there and be done. That's it, for the rest of the season. And Cromartie jumps that one. This guy's, he thought earlier, and you saw him doing some of them face catching, throwing across the field stuff, and he got a bad angle there, and that was Cromartie just jumped that. And he makes a few plays this season too. I've been happy with that. Woodson not so much, but I don't really see him getting beat very much either. Again, I went through a pretty good stretch here where I didn't even give up a lot of points this season, as you see. And Mike Evans again, and there's the Ditka making a good play. So that was a good snag there. Those guys are very close on a lot of stats. I thought Ditka would have had the edge stat-wise, but I think there's really something to be said about the frame on Gronkowski, just the size of him and the way he boxes people out, and still just taking hits and holding the ball better. And there's that's a solid play by Ditka too. So again, like I say, he's a good player. I just felt like plays like that, You've seen me make that play numerous times on there with Gronkowski, and very rarely does he drop that. I just happen to have a game for him, and maybe the other games he's clutch. This game he dropped like 4 passes though, and I'm like, it's just, I was like, I couldn't have that. And I pieced that collection together, so I made some money on that a little bit. And there's Atwater again with the pick. And I was trying to take the knee there, but he somehow, I was just happy I didn't fumble after that because I thought it could have been bad. There we go, breaking the 1 tackle, but eventually, they get on me there. So that's the thing. He's going to break the tackles, but you just got to hope you can make something happen. Here we go, Dela, and he gets the one-handed snag, takes a couple steps, and drops it. I mean, seriously. Gronk makes those plays on regular. And there's a nice one right there. A little swing for him. That was a good play, like I say. So it's kind of back and forth, but all in all, for the price, I just wasn't feeling it. But Mike Evans, when you need it, just every so often for that guy, if it's one-on-one, you just pop it up. All right, if I'm gonna have to deal with that, and hey, there's the Super Bowl MVP type Butler player. He's just in for the quarter set, but like I say, every so often with that Evans, I mean, I just throw it back up. I feel like when I first got the Megatron card, that Calvin, 94, and then when that first came out, and you could just dominate with it, and then eventually you stop making plays. How it seems to happen in this game as the levels go up. But Evans has filled that role very well, and a little better because he's holding on to more, at least on the way back down. Not every time, but that is the big thing with Calvin. He catches the ball on the way up and drop it on the way down. Basically like Dicka did there, Mr. Kitchen Traffic 100 Dicka. And again, we use these swing plays. You'll see they're modified, little plays, but they're basically like runs to me. You'll see me running them from time to time. It's just an easier way to get my guy out in space. Running's not always easy in the game. Some people really they know how to shut it down very well. And again, there's one of those plays I say, you're like, how did Larry catch that? He had a guy trying to dive in there, and Larry just goes out and snags it anyway. He just snags it in front of him. Says, I don't care, that's my ball. That's that's the stuff right there. Oh, poor guy comes out, fumbles right in my hands. A little juke step with the show boat. It happens, man. I don't do it very often, but it felt like it. It just sometimes you hit the play, you're like, it feels right. It feels right. There was no crotch grab, at least, So be it. So what we got? 14 now here. At least final game here. I believe this one is, and coming out, he's and what's he got? He had a little berry action too. I believe he did all right with his. Coming out, he starts taking some hits though. A lot of these guys, they can run decently on me, and they they'll continue to hit these little ones down the field. But when you got the hit power you do at this point of the game, you just got to watch that. And there we go, and he hits a big one, and that was just, look at that. I mean, there was nobody out there. I of course missed the tackle, so now he's moving in range here to score, and go out, and he just makes a mistake. He's trying to quick read me when I was in zone. I switched to man. He didn't recognize it, and I have coverage right there in a good spot, able to do the user jump up, and easy play. So, and I want to thank those few of you who actually made it to the end of this video. I'm going to get to work, like I say, on those ebooks probably now, and I will see you all later.
From the hopscotch to the 7-stone, in and out and around the zone, inside the mind, through the barrel, the time to write a poem. Expressions of a world rolled up into an ocean, popping with double copies of a gravy potion. As pins, ink seeps in between cracks and blotted intent.